In Academy District 20, sportsmanship is year-round. I'm Superintendent Mark Hatchell, and I've seen countless examples of sportsmanship by our athletes, coaches, and fans. From help up after a tough fall to encouraging words following a difficult loss, our athletes know the true meaning of sportsmanship.
Gets it to Love, makes a fake baseline, goes to the middle, and throws in the hook shot.
Sportsmanship to me is respecting your coaches, officials, players, and the other fans. Cheer for your team, but also appreciate the other team.
Sportsmanship to me means always putting forth your best effort to help the team, respecting yourself as well as the others around you, and treating your body right.
Sportsmanship to me is respecting one another and understanding the other team's right to cheer.
Sportsmanship to me is respect. Respecting yourself, your teammates, and your opponents.
The set, left side, sent down, inbounds or out of bounds. That is inbounds for Amanda Cushion.
Sportsmanship is being enthusiastic about your accomplishments while also respecting other players and their achievements.
Throws left side to the end zone, and the catch is made. That's a touchdown.
At Academy School District 20,
Sportsmanship is year-round.
Hello and welcome to TCA Field here at the Classical Academy in Colorado Springs as the TCA Titans have their first game in 4A boys soccer, and it's going to come against the Lewis Palmer Rangers from up in Monument, Colorado. And TCA starting out 4A. My name Brian German, along with Dave Toller. We're going to call this game for you, Dave, and it should be an exciting matchup here as TCA was always a really, really good team, usually going out in the semis and the Final Four in 3A in the state level. Now they're moving up to 4A, got a little bit more enrollment here at TCA. We're looking for a good game as they take on the 4A Lewis Palmer Rangers.
Should be a great one tonight, Brian. You talk about TCA and the success they've had. They've been to 3 straight state tournaments. They lost in the state final game twice. One of those was last season. So a team that over the last 3 years, they've only lost 6 games. But again, that was at the 3A level. Tonight, they step up to 4A and they meet a team like Lewis Palmer that also went to the state tournament last year. They went 10-4-2 and lost unexpectedly in the first round of the tournament. So we're seeing 2 very good teams tonight.
It should be fun. And before we get started, we want to let you know that there are DVDs available of this broadcast. If you like something you see here today, you want to watch it again, you can order a DVD copy of any of our broadcasts. This will be the very first 20 TV broadcast of the year. You can do that by sending an email to 20tv@asd20.org or give us a call at 719-234-1780. And we also want to let you know that we are available on social media as well. Here are all the ways you can get to us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, which you'll be seeing some highlights if we tweet those out tonight. YouTube, you can see highlights there as well. And then, of course, asd20.org/20TV Sports, the place to watch all of these games. Should be a good one. We talked to TCA's coach, Blake Galvin. I asked him before the game, are you excited about moving up or scared about moving up? And what did he say, Dave?
He said pretty much, I'll tell you after tonight. Yeah. He was excited to move up and excited to see his kids get this opportunity. He said they deserve this opportunity. They've lost some good players over the last couple of seasons. They have a young team. They have a senior keeper back in the nets that gives them a tremendous amount of leadership back in there. And he just said this will be a great chance for his team, and he's looking forward to it, much like we are, to see what kind of team they have tonight.
The Titans this year will play in the 4A Metro League. That'll be in their league along with Mitchell, Widefield, Woodland Park. That's some of the teams in that league. Whereas the Lewis Palmer Rangers come in, they play in the 4A Pikes Peak League, which maybe some might think is and actually probably is a tougher league. So as far as TCA jumping up to 4A, maybe they got the easy route out starting out in the 4A Metro.
Well, I'll tell you what, Lewis Palmer was 3rd last season in that 4A Pikes Peak League. That's a league that contains Cheyenne Mountain. That's Air Academy. Those 2 teams played for the state title last season. They were 3rd behind those teams. This Lewis Palmer team, just 4 losses all season last year. All 4 of those losses came to teams that went to the state quarterfinals. 3 of them went to the Final Four. So they only lose 4 games all season, but they were to some quality opponents last season for the Rangers.
Spoke with Brian Barkey, the Lewis Palmer head coach, before this game as well, and he told us he's pretty excited about this team. I'm just excited just to see him actually kick off here, Dave. And 20 TV starting our fall sports season here. Always fun to have everybody everybody watching with us, and let's just get this season on the road.
Well, and absolutely, what a great night we have here, too. I mean, we're facing right into the mountains. The sun is setting over the mountains. What a great night here at TCA.
Fantastic. Here things are underway, and Lewis Palmer grabs possession of the first ball, and here's a steal already by the Titans, and they're coming back up. A nice lead pass up ahead, but the Lewis Palmer goaltender comes out. Alex Hilton makes a nice play on that ball.
Well, a sophomore coming out to play that ball, and he came out, not a lot of experience back there, but stepped up, played that nicely, transitions it out to the midfield.
Jackson Neal sends it ahead. Jackson Neal, one of the players that the Lewis Palmer's coach Barkey told us about early on. He was actually the freshman male of the year, freshman male athlete of the year at LP last year. TCA will get the ball back here, and Coach Galvin told us that they are going to work on possession this year, trying to keep possession of the ball much longer than they have normally done.
Well, both of these teams talked about that. Both coaches talked about being a ball possession type of team, how tough that is with a young squad when you're trying to play that way and play a very technical style, as you see right there, getting back on defense, clearing it out of play.
Chris Chastain did a good job there just to get in front of that ball, get control of it, and clear it out. So now LP will have a throw in here, and they get the ball inside to Carson Dobiash. Dobiash sends it across, and it's kicked right back out again. Another job there by Chastain to get rid of the ball, and the Rangers will set up again.
Well, as you mentioned, Brian, Jackson Neal, a sophomore on this team who gained some accolades last season. Another guy that we'll keep our eye on is a junior midfielder for the Rangers. That is Daniel Munn, who scored a bunch of goals last season.
Titus Grant just made a great move for TCA, coming down the right sideline. Let's see if he sends across. He does, and there is a shot. A goal just misses off the foot of Jeremy Baldus. And that's a guy we're going to see a lot of tonight. Jeremy Baldus for TCA does a great job getting on the offensive end.
First team All-State selection last season, 47 points last season for Baldus, had 13 goals and had a great chance right there. Young made a tremendous pass inside Baldus with a great scoring chance.
Certainly was, and the ball will go back over now to the Rangers, and Alex Hilton will put it into play. We get to see some of the strength of his leg here unless he goes short with it. Sends it deep. Balls in the air, always a key in soccer. Lewis Palmer moving it now. TCA gets it back. Here's another nice move back in front. Titus Grant. Titus Grant's going to send it into the post. It's still a live ball, and Grant will play it from there. Send it again across. And now cleared out a little bit by the Rangers. Grant again keeping possession. Nice job there. What footwork by Grant. Sending it in, and good job by Hilton to get in there and stop Baldus from that.
Boy, just a couple of minutes into this game, and Grant it's been all him tonight. It's been the Titus Grant show. A couple of great chances, a nice save right there by Hilton, but Titus Grant coming down the near side, he's been tremendous early on.
Andrew Peck picks up the ball and gets it to Grant again this time. Grant now sends it ahead, and look at Baldus run. Baldus is right there. He makes a play on the ball, sends it up. He's got an open goal, and it's a good job there by Lewis Palmer to kick the ball away. Hilton came out to play it, but Baldus couldn't do much with it. Couldn't get the ball to stop. Didn't quite get a good enough control of it. Now Lewis Palmer trying to gain the offensive side of the field, and TCA jumps back to that defensive third. TCA doing a good job of actually possessing the ball. Here's a long pass ahead for Grant. Grant, and we're going to have...
He was offside on the play. Yeah, he got way up ahead of that. And when you talk about those two players, Baldus and Grant, they combined for almost 100 points last season on a TCA team that went 18-2 last year. And already early on, we can see how they play offensively.
So far, I'm pretty impressed with the way TCA's played. I mean, 4A, they don't seem nervous at all. I guess, it's soccer, right?
Exactly.
It's a nice move. Andrew Peck setting it up, and we'll see if the Titans can move it forward. They want to generate some quick offense as well. Both coaches actually talked about that as well. When something is closed off on one side, how are we going to attack it? Turn around, get back, go to the other side of the field and look for something that direction.
Well, and with so many young players out there trying to just avoid pressure sometimes, it's not always about making the best pass, but it's just getting out of trouble, making the safe play. Here's a play right back to their senior goalkeeper. He'll send it right back up. And again, you see that ball possession that Coach Galvin talked about before the game.
This one's out of bounds. The Titans will maintain possession here. We'll see. They're going to take their time with it. That's what Coach Galvin talked about. the longer you have possession of the ball, the better your chances are of keeping the other team from scoring, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes that's your best defense is a good offense.
That's right. Anders Carlson there, playing defense, trying to dispossess Jackson Neal of the ball, but Neal is there with it. Again, we told you how good he was, but he gets it kicked away from him, and Lewis Palmer will start on the far side of the field. Here's the throw in. Titans got some good tall defenders in there. They're easy to get those headers out of there. And here we come up the right side. Let's get it to Titus Grant. Running along with him is Jaden Borja. Borja's going to get it now. Borja ahead of the field. Tries to turn the corner, gets a little bit of a push, and it's out of bounds, kicked out by the Rangers. Good defense there by Brendan Hoagie to get it out of bounds, the senior.
Well, Hoagie, the senior and the team captain, a nice little arm push right there to create some space. Looked like Borja was going to get around him, and he wasn't able to. The ball goes out of play, sets up a corner kick.
And Jaden Borja will do the honors from the corner. And again, you think about the taller players on TCA. If they can get some of those heads up high in there. Borja sends it high, but the header comes out. But again, good possession here. Here's Grant sending it across to Baldus. Baldus on the far side now. That's Peck. And out of the corner trying to get it across. And good job defensively again by the Rangers, who are having to settle back into the defensive side of the field here just to stop things from going.
Well, you look at Anders Carlson down there for the Titans. I mean, he's a head above everybody else. If they can just lob one up high, try to get him to get a head on it, they'll have a great chance. That's Anders down there, number 6.
Jaden Borja again will take the corner kick this time from the far side of the field. And he sends it again high. And there's a header, and it's off just a little bit. Valdez, I believe, got his head on that one, and it just wide. And so far we've seen much more action by the Titans on offense than Lewis Palmer.
Well, and it was last touch by the Rangers. It went out of play off of them, so we'll have another corner kick. This will be Borja again.
Borja's there, and so is Grant. And they're just going to play it from there. And here comes Grant. Sends it in. A little bit of a change up there offensively. Lewis Palmer scrambling defensively, trying to get it. And it's sent out of bounds, and it'll be the Rangers' ball. Now they set it up, and here again, Anders Carlson doing a good job for TCA's Titans. Carlson turning around, getting the ball, and both teams doing a really good midfielders here. Good footwork, taking it away from each other. Chastain sends it back to Micah Messward. Messward, long kick deep. Gets over the head of Carlson. Carlson sets up. And that is Jeremy Baldus. Baldus trying to get around the Rangers. Sends it in. And we're going to stay here. Goal kick.
Well, you saw TCA play that ball back to their senior goalkeeper, Micah Messward. And before the game, Coach Galvin told us he's a great field player as well. He's got great foot skills. He handles the ball well, especially in traffic. And you saw a couple of times already, they will kick the ball back to him and let him transition it the other way.
Oh, here's a steal coming up. Andrew Peck. Peck in the corner to Baldus. Baldus tries to center, and it gets kicked out of there. TCA is doing a great job at exactly what Blake Galvin wanted them to do, and that is possess the ball.
Well, they really are. We haven't seen much of the action down here to our left in front of Messward.
Baldus running down the left sideline now. See if nice move, great footwork. Gets it across, but tons of Rangers in there. And now we've got a call and a whistle. We're going to have a free kick for the Titans. And once again, Jaden Borja is going to take it. Seems to be the point man on all these corner kicks, free kicks. Let's see if they can run at the goal again. He might put it in there high. Or if he comes back out front to Titus Grant. And we got a timeout call to the official. He's making sure the Rangers are in the right defensive position. And here it is, Borja. Sends it across. Up inside. Oh, just missed again. That time the header was Anders Carlson. Got his head on that and just missed it. Here's the replay.
Well, he sure did. I mean, a great kick. Carlson gets a great piece of that, and it goes just wide of the post. But they've done that several times. They got some great height inside, guys that can really play the ball up in the air and created some chances offensively. That one went just wide of the post.
I certainly see why Coach Blake Galvin is excited about this team. He called them his most talented team that he's had. And, of course, they've been in 3A. Now they're in 4A. They're going to need to be the most talented. But, boy, tonight they've been the most talented on the field.
Well, and, of course, right after he said that, he said, but we'll see.
Right.
You never know until you see him on the field. But
right.
He said at least looking at him in practice, on paper, the kids that he has, the talent and the skill level, he said this might be the best he's had.
Chris Chastain sending it ahead. Noah Klaus right back at him. This is some of the possession they've been trying to do. Tough job there by Johnny Stevens in the game. Peck, some good footwork, and again going back to Mesward. Mesward's brother Josh was actually the goaltender here at TCA before he was. Actually was a senior when Mesward was a freshman. There's a bad throw in and a turnover, and TCA comes up with it. Borja's going to send it back. Jeremy Schenk, the senior, trying to run it up the left-hand side. Tries to get it to Borja, and now it's through, and here comes Baldus running for it along with Hilton. Hilton gets there first and stops the ball.
Boy, Hilton's had to come out several times and play balls like that. Long lead passes. We see the speed of TCA and those guys that try to get wide and use their speed, and Hilton's come out and made a couple of nice plays on some balls.
Brian Barkey, the Lewis Palmer head coach there, making a play on the ball. Keeping it in relative distance of the field. Let the team get it back in play. And there's the aforementioned Jackson Neal sending it deep where there are only Titans. And this time it's sent out of there by Mesward. That'll allow the Rangers to set something up. We'll see what they can do. They haven't really been down to this end much.
No, they really haven't. And that time Mesward came way out, didn't really have much to do with the ball. Had a couple of Rangers coming in on him, so he just kicked it out of play. There's another ball that goes out of play on the far side.
Good defense there by Jeremy Schenk, just jumping in front of Jackson Neal and just getting that ball out of bounds. Here comes Borja. I just love the way TCA just touches the ball. Good passes to each other. Unfortunately, that one just out of bounds.
Well, and defensively, TCA has just been smothering. It seems like every time a Ranger gets the ball, he's got a white jersey in front of him, another one in the passing lane. They've done a great job really on both ends.
Certainly have. This is Miguel Mendez, one of the outstanding performers for the Rangers. And now they keep trying to move ahead, but TCA, again, comes back with it. Schenk on the defense. Fancy footwork there by Andrew Peck. And we'll come to the opposite side of the field. Johnny Stevens back to Mesward. Mesward with a long kick. We'll see if that one gets away. And Titus Grant, let's see if he can keep it in bounds. Grant does so on the right-hand side. He's waiting. No, he's going to go ahead and take a shot just wide to the right. Not a bad idea there. He had Baldus and Borja coming down, but he didn't really have anyone to pass it to, so why not take a shot?
Well, exactly, and he had the defender in front of him that dropped back and gave him a little room and some space to get a shot off. It went just wide, and here's a goal kick by Hilton.
Titus Grant right there. It's almost like TCA knows exactly what the Rangers are trying to do, but we talked to Coach before the game, and he said he didn't know much about this Ranger team. Baldus, some quick feet. Sends it back. This is Peck. Titans very patient on offense as well.
Boy, and they handle it so well in traffic. I mean, they don't panic at all, and they do have some young players, but a program that's won so many games, they've had success, but they don't look a bit nervous going up a level and playing a good team like Lewis Palmer.
Now Lewis Palmer, slight breakaway, but I see a lot more white shirts. Everywhere I look on this field, I'm seeing a lot more TCA Titans than Lewis Palmer Rangers. A nice steal there by Peck. Going away with the ball. Anders Carlson, who just missed the header moments ago, sends it back. Chris Chastain up the right side of Johnny Stevens. Stevens sends it to Borja. Borja is ahead of the field, but Hilton is there. TCA fans got a little bit excited on that one, but Hilton he might as well stay out here on the football 10-yard line because to be ready for some of those.
Well, and they're trying to use their speed and get those lead passes up ahead. Hilton's done a nice job, and there's a foul right there as Carlson just trying to come over the top. He's using his height, but got a little too much of the body on that one. It'll be Rangers ball.
Couldn't quite get his head on that ball. It was a little too far to the north from him. And again, a whistle, and this will be Rangers again. They'll quickly put it in play. Jackson Neal sends it over to the right. A long, high kick is wide and too high. Messward watches it go and waits for another ball, and he will get the goal kick.
Well, and just so tough for the Rangers to get any penetration down deep. They had a chance from outside about 20, 25 yards out. They just sent that one toward the net, and here's a chance to see Messward once again with his leg, and he'll play it out to his midfielder.
Good job. Jeremy Shank here. Shank turning, looking for Borja. Borja. Nice move. Keep moving it around well. Carlson, long pass. Baldus is there, but he's offside. Ref right on the line, saw the call. It's a good call.
Well, and Baldus knew it. He took a look at the defender across from him, and he saw that he was behind him, and he held up. The ref blew the whistle. That was an easy one. But again, another example, trying to get those forwards out deep, those strikers out deep, and get that long outlet pass.
Maybe Baldus was hoping, hey, this is 4A, the defenders are faster. You're supposed to be faster.
You never know. You never know.
Carlson again comes with it. Borja. Oh, had Grant open. This is Noah Klaus now to Borja. Wow, look at the footwork by Borja. Just a sophomore for this TCA team. That's saying something when he's the guy doing the free kicks and the corner kicks, and he's just a sophomore.
Well, and you look at their team, and they are young. Titus Grant is just a sophomore. Baldus is a sophomore. They got some good young players on this team.
Rangers can do nothing to get it in the offensive zone, and they're going to call a push on Jackson Neal. Thought he had something going there. TCA comes back.
Well, we talk about all the white jerseys out there. I mean, Lewis Palmer has to be wondering if they're playing 11 on 14 or 11 on 15 out there. It seems like every time they get across midfield, TCA's got everybody back. They take control. They send it the other way quickly.
Micah Messward's going to play it from here from the free. Sending it deep. I'd like to see him score a goal. How about that? Oh. Alex Hilton comes out and plays it. Hilton just a sophomore keeper for Lewis Palmer. Sends it deep. I'm wondering if the Rangers are getting slightly frustrated here at not being able to get anything going offensively. Jonathan Emick with it on the far side. Sends it to Neal in the middle. Neal ganged up on, trying to keep possession of the ball. Now sends it forward, and it's stolen away. A good job there by Garrett Troop, the freshman defender in there for TCA. Now a long pass. Here's Titus Grant. Grant keeps it with his body. Makes a nice turn. Good defense. Sets it up for Noah Klaus, but Klaus didn't really get enough foot on it. It goes wide left.
Boy, just unlucky right there. I mean, Titus Grant made a great stop with the chest, dropped it back to Klaus, who just didn't quite get all of it. And you can just see the way the ball was spinning. It just spun way wide of the net.
Too much spin on that ball. Alex Hilton to put it back in play. Titus Grant. Nice move. He's got Borja with him, and now Klaus running up the right side, and it's taken away. TCA being aggressive defensively. A good job there by Garrett Troop, but he may have ran too far. And a quick shot here, and Messward comes out and makes an easy play on the ball, and that was Connor Davis.
Well, Connor Davis just kind of lobbed that one in. He had Daniel Munn coming down the left side and just didn't see him. If he'd have touched over to Munn, Munn had some space, but he didn't see him. He threw that one in on goal.
Klaus tried to get it to Borja, but Lewis Palmer comes back with it. Jackson Neal sends it forward, and again it's Connor Davis. But that TCA defense then again just squelches it off right there, and here come the Titans back at it. Titus Grant. Nice footwork. A little bit of a bump. They'll keep possession. And now they'll go back to the center of the field. And Andrew Peck. Stevens to Peck and back to Klaus. Klaus looking ahead, nice pass, got Baldus running. And he also had Shank on the other side of the field. who runs it down and will get the quick throw in. Gets it to Baldus.
Boy, what a good-looking play over there. They had two guys. If the first guy can't get to it, they had Shank backing him up. A nice play coming down the far side, and TCA will throw this one in.
Baldus throws it in high, looking for the header. Carlson, no. Carlson was there, but Hilton comes forward and makes a nice jump and gets the ball.
Boy, how active has Alex Hilton been for the Rangers in goal? I mean, he's come out and played a bundle of those, and here's a big kick from Hilton that gets out to the midfield.
Just over a quarter of the way through the first game in 4A history for the TCA Titans, and we are scoreless, but TCA is so far thoroughly outplayed Lewis Palmer. Here's a nice pass to Borja. Borja on his horse getting to it, but Hilton was just a little bit faster. And I'll tell you what, Alex Hilton has now decided, I am going to get to the ball before any of these guys do.
And he's going to have to, because, again, Borja right there, great first step, got right around the defender. He was coming in all by himself when Hilton came out and played that.
Lewis Palmer trying to move the ball into their zone. Won't go. Titus Grant, nice touch pass to Klaus. Klaus comes back to Grant. Takes two guys to gang up on Grant, and now here come the Rangers. J.G. Morrison II. Gotta like that name. Haven't been able to call many of the Ranger names tonight. They haven't really been touching the ball. Coach Galvin's team doing a great job of possession, which is what both coaches stressed before this game.
Well, he didn't. He wasn't sure how well they'd be able to possess the ball just with their youth and with moving up a division here, but they've done a great job of it tonight.
Brendan Hoagie, the captain for the Rangers, trying to keep it. Borja jumps out on him, and here comes Titus Grant. Great job just tiptoeing on the sidelines. Good little battle there, and Daniel Munn comes away with it. Munn, one of the top scorers for the Rangers. Grant sends it ahead. Carlson, I believe that was a handball.
Yeah, popped right off of his own foot, touched his hand. And, you wonder, TCA's had so many opportunities, but Lewis Palmer has some guys that can really score. And Daniel Munn is a guy, he scored a pile of goals last season, a guy that can really put it away. And you feel like if they get a chance, they have guys that can finish.
They certainly do, but they got to get closer to the goal, I think, if they're going to. They've probably got one shot on goal if you count that one. Here's Klaus running along the side. Johnny Stevens. Johnny Stevens now with a chance. Coming in on goal. He'll send it across. It's goal! How about Johnny Stevens getting the first 4A goal for the TCA Titans? They take a 1-0 lead. Take us through that goal, Dave Toll.
Boy, how about the pass by Noah Klaus, the junior midfielder right there, puts a lead pass, puts it right on the foot of Johnny Stevens. He goes high up into the near side corner. Johnny Stevens gets the goal. It puts the Titans up 1-0. How about putting it in that window right above the keeper's hand, under the bar, inside the post. Great score by Stevens and a great feed by Noah Klaus.
Johnny Stevens goes down in history as scoring the first goal in the 4A history of the TCA Titans. 1-0, 17:35 left first half. And that was a big one for the Titans, because the longer I think it goes with you possessing and having great chances, the longer maybe you get down a little bit because you haven't scored. That was a big goal for the Titans.
Well, it certainly was. I mean, they have, like you said, Brian, they've thoroughly outplayed them, but you need to have something to show for that. But before you do get a little frustrated, they had so many chances, but a great goal by Stevens.
Borja tries to get around, but can't do it. Daniel Ziegler dispossesses him with the ball, and they come back the other way. Jackson Neal. There's Munn. Now pushing it forward. Dobiash. It's off of Klaus's foot. Dobiash will throw it in for the Rangers. It's going to go over to be turned over to TCA. Johnny Stevens, fresh off the goal, sends it back to Messward. Johnny Stevens, a freshman, gets the first goal. So 4 years from now, he'll be able to say, yeah, I got the first goal. We played our first 4A game a long time ago. That's
absolutely.
Me,
what a nice one that was, too.
Oh, that's one of the best goals I've seen in a while. Of course, it is the first game of our season as well. But, hey, nice goal. Baldus touches it forward, trying to get it. Jake Slater in the game now for the TCA Titans. He's a freshman as well. There you see more of that ganging defense. Jeremy Schenk comes away with it. Baldus plays it forward. Borja takes a little bit of a push, goes down, and it's TCA's ball.
Yeah, Borja just trying to play it back. Took a bit of a bump, took a little bit of a trip. He's been down a couple of times, and a guy that just plays with speed everywhere he's at. He's coming down the near side. That time it was in the midfield, but he went down. He popped right back up.
Baldus sends it forward here, and here's Klaus. Klaus offside. Whew. I wasn't sure. I thought both defenders were back on that one, but
yeah, I think Klaus got a little too deep, almost a little cherry picking right there. He was way behind, and again, he knew it right away. As soon as he touched it, he just froze.
There's Jake Slater again, this time coming over to Andrew Peck. Peck sends it across too far. Baldus going to run it down on the far side of the field. And nice fake there as he moves it ahead. Now he'll send it looking for Borja, but it looks like the Rangers are going to clear it here. TCA. That ball's going to come back to Hilton for a goal kick. Things quieting down here. They got some sausages cooking behind us here, and they're smelling mighty good. Maybe Dave Toller will grab us one. No?
I just might.
Okay.
Might grab us two.
Ooh.
One for you as well. How about that?
That'd be awesome. Another new player, Reese Tonsit's in the game for TCA. Playing defense here, number 11. And they send it ahead, and too quick. Chris Chastain is there, and he'll send it back to Messward. Messward, long kick. Beautiful kick there. Baldus tries to play it, but it comes down, and now it's stolen away. Decent job by Jake Slater trying to keep it, but loses it out of bounds. Now the Rangers. Jeremy Schenk for TCA. Carlson sends it. Baldus is going to send it towards the center of the field. Borja takes possession. He's got a shot. What a save by Hilton. Borja again. The second time goes for Jaden Borja, and it's 2-0 TCA.
Boy, he just picked up that ball that bounced off of a couple of legs. It was inside the box. A great save by Alex Hilton on the first shot. Borja went right back and followed it up. Here's the replay right there. Here's Borja's first shot. Great save by Hilton, but he follows it up, taps it in right past, and Borja gets the goal, and it's 2-0. TCA leads Lewis Palmer.
Oh, that's just so tough for Alex Hilton as a keeper. You want to try and keep your hands on that ball. When you make that save, you got to at least knock it out of bounds, do something with it, but he sent it right back to Borja, who got the goal.
Boy, what a great first save, and if he puts that ball anywhere else off of that rebound, he's in great shape. It bounced right back to Borja, and give him some credit. You always talk about in every sport, follow your shot. Follow your shot. Borja did. It led to a goal.
Here comes Peck, and Hilton's coming out to meet him, and Peck makes a nice move, sends it in, and it's a goal! Holy cow! TCA running away with it right now. Andrew Peck, the captain for the Titans, comes in for the goal.
Wow, what great speed Andrew Peck shows, the junior defenseman. Usually he's been up playing a couple of times in the attacking zone. He outruns everybody, beats the keeper, and then just taps it into the empty net. The junior captain, Andrew Peck, gets the goal. 2 goals in a span of about 40 seconds for TCA, and they take a 3-0 lead in this one.
What presence of mind by Peck there to know Hilton was coming at him, know he would get to the ball first and just to pull it instead of trying a shot. Pull it around the keep and then just kick it home. And that was a tough angle.
Well, it certainly was, and you see a guy sometimes who tries to get too cute with it and trying to make a move around the keeper. He just touched it with his left foot, went and got it with his right foot. 23 seconds between the goals from Borja and from Peck.
Holy cow. TCA has opened this one up. 3-0, 12:45 and counting left in the first half. And Blake Galvin's got to be pretty happy with his team's effort so far.
Well, absolutely.
I guess he's now excited to be in 4A as opposed to being a little apprehensive maybe.
Yeah, he said he would tell us after tonight. Maybe he could tell us at halftime how he feels in this one.
Rangers work cut out for him now, coming back here. And what a great way to open a 4A season here at home and to start with this jump offensively and to have a 3-0 lead this early in the game.
Well, and not only making the jump up, but you're playing a quality opponent. This Lewis Palmer team went to the state tournament last season, lost by a goal. They thought they would advance much farther. They lost to Centaurus in the first round last season, and you come in here in your season opener and jump up 3-0 quickly. That says a lot about this TCA program.
Jackson Neal trying to maybe do too much on his own there for the Rangers. Couldn't get around that smothering Titan defense. Johnny Stevens on the side now to Reese Tonsitz. Nice job by Andrew Peck. I think I see a little even more of a bounce of a step in the Titans as well now. You know, up 3-0. Hey, we're here, we're ready, we're legit.
Well, sure, they've played great this whole game, and like we said, they got off to a great start, but they weren't able to finish. And in the last several minutes, they have all 3 of those goals in a span of 4 minutes, and they've just opened this thing up quickly.
Borja back to Schenk. Now forward, that one gets just over the legs, but here comes Klaus, and now here comes Borja. Borja, great job. Awesome footwork. Has Stevens and will send it, but Munn is there to clear it out for the Rangers. Now Stevens again. The Rangers try and send it deep, and Chastain will probably just kick it back to Messward. A good job here. This is where you've got to be wary of being complacent too, though. You're up 3-0. You want to keep possession of the ball. I think if you're Blake Galvin, you're going to tell your team, hey, let's just keep doing what we're doing, keep possessing that ball. Look at Borja's speed as he comes up and gets it there, knocks it off the Ranger, knocks it off of Anthony Liparulo. That's a great name, isn't it? Liparulo. And they're going to let Borja fix his pads. We're going to hit some substitutions here. Titus Grant back into the game. And we have Jack Slater and Andrew Peck taking a little bit of a rest for the Titans. Here it comes. Another shot there, and wow! Hilton makes a diving save. And running it down and kicking it out was Joshua Kalish.
Well, that shot came off the foot of Reese Tonsitz, and look at the spin on that. It looked like that ball was going 4 or 5 feet wide of the post. It spun back in. Another great save by Alex Hilton. They're down 3-0 in this game, and Hilton has been terrific so far.
Noah sends this one in. He kind of bent that one like Beckham.
A little bit. He really did.
Johnny Stevens will back up. The Titans will set up the offense again. Garrett Troop in the game for TCA. And lots of people playing. There's Carlson back to Troop. Troop tried to send it forward. And the Rangers now cutting it off. There's Munn. Some fancy footwork. Sending it back to Miguel Mendez, the captain. He and Hoagie, the captains, exchange the ball there. Now Chastain lets it go out, and TCA takes possession. Grant moving it ahead, and there's Mendez. Wow, every time the Rangers try and get it even into the middle third, it just gets taken away by the Titans.
Well, just the speed that they have, they've been able to push up in the attacking third, still having bodies back when the ball comes out to the midfield. We look back behind the play, and it's full of white jerseys again. They've done a great job on both ends. We'll see if they change their style a little bit, being up 3-0, if they try to keep a few more bodies back or if they'll just keep attacking like they have been this whole first half.
You saw who just came back in for Lewis Palmer. J.G. Morrison II. Here's a nice move, Titus Grant. Titus Grant has Hilton coming out, sends it over his head, and it goes in the goal! Titus Grant! Holy cow! What a great shot by Titus Grant, who just looped it over Hilton.
Well, just great touch by Grant again. Getting behind the defense, he saw Hilton come up. Just a nice little lob, drops it into the far side. Tremendous touch by Titus Grant, and we talked about him early in the game. All of the points he racked up last season, all-state selection, and he gets into the scoring act for TCA. It's now 4-0 Titans.
It's 4-0 TCA in their first 4A game, and the scorers' grades go like this: freshman, sophomore, junior. Wow, this team's loaded. Klaus trying to get it up the sideline. It'll stay possession for TCA. 7:40 left. And Baldus wants to throw it in. Baldus sends it deep. There's a header, and Hilton is there. Wow, he may have gotten lucky on that one as Anders Carlson didn't quite get his head on the ball.
Well, it went right in front of him, nearly got touched, and then he let it go by. His defender let it go by, and it's going to end up with being a corner kick for TCA. Bora is going to take this.
Jaden Bora has a goal tonight, and he does a great job of setting these up. Look for Carlson inside. Up, and this one's headed out, and here comes Klaus. Klaus sends it back. He's got a goal! Oh, Noah Klaus, the floodgates continue to be opened here as the junior midfielder gets a goal.
Well, a great corner kick. It got over the top of everybody, but you see Klaus stop it with the chest, knock it down, and then fired it through all of that traffic. He kept it low. Hilton never saw it. By the time he did, he tried to dive back to his left, and he couldn't get there. It is 5-0 TCA, the assist on the play to Borja. He's got a goal and an assist tonight.
As far as Alex Hilton is concerned, he has now given up 2 goals in 23 seconds. These 2 came within a minute and 2 seconds. As far as he's concerned, he'd like TCA to go back to 3A.
Absolutely. He's looking at that clock, hoping he can just get to halftime right now.
And he's saying, I'm glad they're in the 4A Metro, not the Pikes Peak. Moving it ahead again. The Rangers just scrambling right now. TCA just keeping possession of that ball. Stevens sends it forward, and Grant comes from nowhere. And Hilton Grant almost got that ball, and Hilton had to kick it out of there. Alex Hilton now complaining to the ref just a little bit. Maybe saying, hey, these guys are too fast. Do something. Baldus will throw it in. Haven't really needed Jeremy Baldus to do much offensively. Look at that nice high throw. Header comes down. The Rangers keep the Titans closer to the ground. And Munn is able to semi-clear it out of there. Chastain sends it right back in. Baldus. You know, that sharks smell blood. It really looks like TCA is smelling something here, and they just want to keep pouring it on.
If we were wondering if they were going to drop back defensively to protect this lead, they are not. They had all the white jerseys on the attacking half of the field. Everybody was up on that last one, so they aren't pulling anybody back with this 5-0 lead. Here's a throw-in for the Rangers now. This time it will be down in the TCA end.
5 different players have scored goals. They're doing a great job here tonight. Maybe they're trying to get everybody their first 4A goal in this game.
Well, maybe in this half.
Lewis Palmer now. Something up, but Stevens steps in, takes the ball. There's Munn. Lewis Palmer works the other side of the field. Noah Klaus. The shank to Baldus. Baldus. It just seems that every open ball, too, every free ball, the Titans get to it faster.
Yeah, they get to every free one. Every 50-50 ball is taken by TCA. That time there's a foul on TCA. Rangers will take control of this one.
Let's see if they can just maybe keep possession down at this end for a little while. Get something going for you here at the end of the first half. Down 5-0.
They might just fire this one toward the goal and just try to get any kind of deflection or try to get something going down low for the Rangers.
Miguel Mendez sends it deep. Stevens tried to head it out of there for TCA, and it does go out of bounds. And the Rangers will keep it here. Daniel Munn. Inside to J.G. Morris in the second. If he can keep possession of the ball for as long as it takes to say his name, he's doing okay.
That's exactly right. And he wears number 2. The second wears number 2,
right,
as it should be, right?
Yes. His son will probably wear number 3. Messward. Something out of there. Looked like TCA had something set up there as well. Michael Slattery now in the game for the Titans. This senior midfielder. Here comes Baldus. Baldus probably mad. All his teammates have goals. He has yet to score one. Nice strip away there by Anthony Liparulo. Here comes Baldus again. He's got Titus Grant in front. Sends it forward. Grant again lifts it this time. Just misses. Boy, that was a direct replay of the other one that he scored the goal on, but he just pushed it a little bit left.
Oh, and Baldus is saying that was my assist on that one. He fed it right up to Young. Young tried to lob it over the top. That one goes just wide of the post. Came off the side of his left foot. Didn't have a whole lot of time to control it. He got the left foot on it and sent it just left of the net, but another great scoring chance by the Titans.
If he used the right foot, maybe it wouldn't have gone so far left.
It might have, yeah.
Who knows? Alex Hilton sending it forward. Daniel Munn. And here's a Nick Hazelwood in the game. And then here's a kick just over. That's 3 points, isn't it?
I think it
the
is.
Field goal
right.
is good by Baldus. Jeremy Baldus. A little too much leg on that one.
Boy, does he have a big leg, though. He
Holy
turned
cow.
on that ball quickly, got the left foot on it, sent it just high of the crossbar, but that ball was sizzling when it came across.
And as you look at both these teams on the field, and you see the guys in white and the guys in black, the guys in white just have a bigger physical presence. And you would think it would be the opposite from a smaller school going into a larger league. But I tell you what, TCA is impressive.
Boy, they really are. I mean, their speed, their physicality, their poise with the ball. I mean, they handle it through traffic. They look ahead. I mean, you see a guy flying down the far side. He's got his hand up. The midfielder looks down, sees him, puts it in a great spot. They've done everything in this first half.
They certainly have. Rangers probably a little bit dumbstruck right now. Baldus will do the honors once again, throwing it in. We can see how far he can throw it and how high he can throw it. And I believe he may have stepped over the line throwing that in. Rangers will have the ball. You can see the time winding down now, 1:24. First half. And the Rangers will play it in. Daniel Ziegler, senior defenseman, loses it, and TCA comes back with the ball. Baldus. Titans doing a great job just doing whatever they want pretty much with the ball. Johnny Stevens gets it back to Michael Slattery. Slattery sends it forward, and a good job there by the senior captain, Miguel Mendez, to get it back to Hilton in goal. Baldus falls down here. Jackson Neal, but look at Baldus on the ground, still maintaining possession somehow. Now it's Noah Kraus. Baldus, wow, runs in, does not get the call. And 5-0. What the heck, 25 seconds left in the first half. Can probably.
He did get it.
We'll get the free kick here. Let's see. 16, 15 seconds. Baldus sets it up. He's going to wait for the official, and Grant pulls it back. Baldus takes a shot. Oh, man. Had Johnny Stevens on the right-hand side, but nothing doing. 5-0. That is the way the first half will end, and what an impressive first half it was for the TCA Titans. 5 goals, 5 different players in their first game at 4A. They're doing pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. And for Lewis Palmer, they just wanted to get out of that half, go back, try to regroup a little bit, and come out for the second half. But for TCA, they did everything they wanted to in that first half.
They possessed the ball. They scored plenty of goals. That's it for the first half. 5-0 TCA. We'll be back with more right here on 20 TV. Welcome back to TCA Field here at the Classical Academy in Colorado Springs. The Titans with a 5-0 lead over the Rangers of Lewis Palmer. And a pretty uneventful first 20 minutes, although TCA did have possession of the ball for most of that. And then the floodgates open. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first 4 goals for TCA.
Well, there's Johnny Stevens scoring in the 17th minute off a great feed by Noah Kraus. Here's Bora, who took it off a rebound. A great save by Hilton. He puts it back in. This is Andrew Peck coming down, dribbles around the goaltender. Hilton taps it into the empty net. This is the 4th goal that was scored. That's Titus Grant as Hilton came out, tried to play the ball. Grant lobs it right over the top of his head. 17th minute on down. 5 goals scored by TCA in a span of 12 minutes. 2 of them came in a span of 23 seconds. 2 more came in a span of 62 seconds. And 5-0, TCA leads at the half.
For the record, Noah Klaus got the 5th goal. And we want to let you know that if maybe you're Mr. and Mrs. Klaus or Borja or Grant or Stevens or Peck, you might want a copy of this. And how do you get a copy of this, Dave Toller?
You can get it in a lot of ways right there, but you can email 20tv at asd20.org. You can also call 719-234-1780. You can buy a DVD or a Blu-ray of this game. Keep it forever. Anybody from TCA, you might want to keep that first half.
And I'm going to speak here, and Rob Parrish is going to yell at me in my ear if I'm wrong. $10 DVD, $15 Blu-ray. He says, sure, we're good to go. Also want to let you know you can keep in contact with us here at 20TV through our social media as well. Lots of addresses for that. And we have a Facebook page, we have Twitter, we have YouTube, and then we have the asd20.org/20TV Sports where you see a lot of these games. Awesome stuff. It'll be up on YouTube probably tomorrow or the next day, and you can relive this wonderful TCA game. I would suggest starting maybe 20 minutes into the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And if you're anybody from TCA, you're going to love the final 17 minutes from Lewis Palmer. Maybe not so much. The goaltender, Alex Hilton, made some terrific saves, but outside of that, they didn't have a whole lot going offensively.
We are just a few seconds away from the start of the second half. We're going to take one more break. We'll come back with the second half action here between TCA and Lewis Palmer right after this on 20TV.
One part excellence, one part inspiration, one part preparation for outstanding education. Academy School District 20, where dreams take flight.
Welcome back to the Classical Academy TCA Field. The Titans with a 5-0 lead as we start the second half. And we are about to get underway, and it'll be interesting to see what Blake Galvin has told his team. But like you said, they have yet to slow down in this game, Dave Toller.
Well, they really do, Brian. We'll see what Lewis Palmer comes out with. And when you're down 5-0, you just need to get something to feel good about. Try to come out in this game, get some offense going. Their goaltenders played well, but they really haven't controlled the speed or the physical play of TCA this whole game.
And it looks like the Rangers starting to get things going. But TCA, again, the height of this TCA team really helping them out. Anytime the Rangers try and play a ball high into the offensive end, the Titans are right there to just head it right back out.
Well, they've won the play everywhere, whether it's on the ground, up in the air, offensive zone, D zone. It really hasn't mattered. They've controlled play in all attacking areas.
This is Jeremy Schenk. And here come the Rangers, cut off by Jackson Neal. Jackson Neal, nice footwork, spins it around, gets a shot right there. Oh, what a save! Beautiful save by Micah Messward, who has yet to be challenged all night. Boy, he was stayed awake for that one.
Well, he was absolutely challenged on that one. A great chance by the Rangers right there. Came off the left foot through some traffic, trying to go to the far side. Micah Messward dove across, made that save. Came off the foot of Jackson Neal, the sophomore midfielder for Lewis Palmer.
Neal, we mentioned, was the freshman athlete of the year, and there's an easy save for Messward. Not enough foot on that one for the Rangers, but wow, that was the most offense the Rangers have had all night. It comes about a minute into the second half.
Well, you know, Coach Barkey's going to like the way they came out in the first 90 seconds of this half.
Most definitely. Nice long kick, and the Titans have now gotten the ball in their offensive third, but nope. I didn't think they were going to retain possession there. It's a good call by the officiating crew. Daniel Ziegler sends it in. Baldas tries to get it down. Mendez sends it out, and now it will be Titans ball. Baldas looks. He's got Borja running. Borja running and quickly gobbled up by Alex Hilton. I think if you're Alex Hilton, you got to think, okay, this is 0-0. I just got to, settle in and just stop everything that comes my way in this half.
Well, you almost have to try to put that first half behind you. Don't look at the scoreboard. Go out and play. And they've done that for the first couple of minutes. You can already see Lewis Palmer's compete level is a whole lot higher than it was in the first half.
Their level of caring about the game here stepped up just a little bit.
I guess 5-0 would do that to you, wouldn't it?
Definitely. Another long kick, and Oh, nice job. Almost ran into Adam Drake, our photographer down there. Holy cow, good job, Drake. We don't care about you, we just care about the camera. Titus Grant almost took him out.
He got the shot, though.
He did. There it is. Coming right by Drake. Look at it. Good job, Drake. Kept him off the camera. How about that? District 20 administrators are going to love that move. They're going to have to save that. He should tweet that out on his own Twitter and say, look at how well I take care of the equipment for you guys. Got a whistle, and Baldez will throw it in here again. Jeremy Baldez. Too many balls on the field, Dave.
Yeah, there weren't enough in the first half for Lewis Palmer. They needed their own in the first half.
Borja. Borja turns the corner. Good defense there by Lewis Palmer's Anthony Liparulo. I just like saying his name.
Well, and he got back on Borja, and we saw in the first half the kind of speed that Borja has. Nice job by Liparulo getting back, forcing that ball out of play, and we'll have a corner kick. And again, Borja will take this.
Borja will take this, and the tall TCA Titans, Triple T, going to try and probably get a header in here unless he plays it out front. Borja sends it high. Up inside, there's another goal. And this time, it's Anders Carlson, who's had a couple headers missed. This one finds it right in the middle of the net.
It was only a matter of time before he got one, Brian. Great pass, great corner kick from Borja, and you see Carlson getting way up. He stands a head taller than everybody else. He jumps, he gets up over the top, gets it clean, right off the forehead into the net. It comes from Borja, his second assist of the night. Great play there by Carlson, and the Titans go up 6-0 in this one.
Wow. When people see this score as TCA's first foray into 4A soccer, you like that? If they see 6-0, if it just stays like this, people are going to take notice.
Well, I tell you what, you look at the teams in that 4A Metro League and Whitefield, and you look at some of the other, Harrison, Woodland Park, they're going to look at the score and say, uh-oh,
yeah.
look who's dropped into our league.
No kidding. Titus Grant making some nice moves, out-dueling 2 Rangers over there, and he still had more foot on the ball than the Rangers. Rangers able to get it out. Daniel Ziegler. Baldez to Grant. Baldez sends it across the field, and this time it's headed off out of there by the Rangers. Connor Davis, a little bit of a push there. He got away with it. Sending it to the center of the field. Drew Breithupt. Now they'll play it deep. And, of course, Micah Messward comes up with it.
Well, it looked like it was going to develop into something for Lewis Palmer. It was Brendan McKelvey that was coming down the near side, and he had a little bit of space, but by the time he gained possession of the ball, controlled it, he looked up, he had 4 white jerseys in front of him. It was kicked out of play.
You know, the bright side of this, Dave, is we saw most of the play on the right side of the field in the first half. At least we get to see some play on the left side of the field here in the second half. That's the direction TCA is going toward now. Here come the Rangers. If they could just get something on the board. Nice job kicked ahead, but once again, good defense. This one is possessed by Brendan McKelvey. McKelvey, nice move. Good touch pass there. Tried to get it to Connor Davis. Davis comes back, and there's Neal again. Oh, just outside the right post. Jackson Neal has had the best shots on goal so far for the Rangers.
Boy, great chance and great touch passing in some traffic right there by Lewis Palmer. They made 4 or 5 little short passes, led to a good chance that went just wide of the post.
Maybe changing their strategy a little bit and trying to really keep possession by tapping it between teammates. Baldez goes down. That looked like it hurt, but he's up quickly. Good to see for the Titans. There's Carlson, who had the last goal for TCA. Fighting it hard. Good fight level here on the Rangers as well. Nice move by Jackson Neal. I can see why he was Male Athlete of the Year as a freshman for Lewis Palmer. And coming back to kick it out of there is Garrett Troop, the freshman for the Titans. And then the Rangers will set up here with the throw-in.
Well, great handling coming up by Neal. McKelvey was in front of him, and McKelvey didn't know where to go. Neal was coming right up behind him, tried to pass it up ahead, and McKelvey couldn't catch up to it.
This one again kicked out of bounds, and McKelvey will again have a chance to throw it in. This is Mendez who throws it in. Tried to get it to Davis. Nice touches here by the Rangers. Connor Davis doing a good job battling there. Getting away with some pushes maybe. That's out of bounds again, and here come the Rangers. Daniel Ziegler took the throw-in honors. Kicked right back out of bounds. And this time, it's Brendan McKelvey to Ziegler. Ziegler in the center of the field. Jackson Neal. Neal loses it. Davis comes back with it, and it's again fired out of there by the Titans.
Well, they're finally getting some possession. They're getting a little bit of possession in their attacking zone. They're controlling the ball, and they've had a couple of chances.
McKelvey sends it in. The taller TCA players knock it out. Look at the speed right there by Chastain coming forward to take that ball away. Chastain sends it out, and the Rangers will keep it.
Well, he came out of nowhere to intercept that pass. He ran a long way to jump up, get a foot on it, and send it out of play.
Certainly did. Here's Davis to McKelvey. McKelvey, couldn't get enough foot on that one. He wants that one back. Brendan McKelvey could have had a better shot than that.
Well, a nice pass, but just unlucky off the wrong side of the foot. He went with the right foot, and it came off the outside. He had a little bit of space around his defender, but it was wide outside of the post, and here's a goal kick by Messward.
Seeing some good tenacity by this Lewis Palmer team, down 6-0. Connor Davis and Brendan McKelvey doing a great job. Just trying to get something on the board for Lewis Palmer. I think we just got our picture taken, Dave, or something happened because I'm half blind. It was a flash from somewhere. Neal pushes it ahead. He's got McKelvey on the right side. He'll take it himself. McKelvey drops back. Neal battling. And a good job there by Jeremy Schenk just to push him out. And having gone off the foot of the Rangers, Schenk will take possession of it there.
Boy, has Neal been active early on in this second half. We didn't call his name a whole lot in the first half, and none of the Rangers had the ball a lot, but Neal been very active in this second half.
There's McKelvey sending it in. Quickly kicked back out by Garrett Troop. And now here's Baldus. Baldus going to send it all the way up the field, and that's going to be an easy stop by the keeper, Alex Hilton.
You wonder if this field is slanted a little bit because the first half was all played to our right side by TCA. In the second half, Lewis Palmer's had the ball the whole time on the right side of the field.
It doesn't look slanted.
It doesn't look like it, but it seems like it might be.
Some good hustle there by Titus Grant. I'm impressed with just about everything with these TCA Titans. Their speed, their ability to dispossess the Rangers of the ball, and their ability to just keep possession of the ball. Here's Baldus. He's got Grant on the left. Here comes Grant. He'll take Hilton. He's got the goal! Our first 2-goal scorer is sophomore forward Titus Grant. A beautiful setup by Baldus.
Boy, great pass there by Jeremy Baldus. He picks up his second assist of the night for the sophomore midfielder. And when those two guys come in on you, there isn't a whole lot you can do. Baldus with a great pass over to his left. Touch there by Grant. Oh, nice move around the goalkeeper. Faked it with the left foot, came right back with the right, threw it into the far side. And that gives TCA a 7-0 lead in this one. There's the pass again. Here comes Grant touching it past the goalie. Hilton went down almost in a goalie, like in a hockey goalie style for a kick save. It went right over the top of the leg and into the net.
The butterfly went down. The ball went over. 7-0 TCA. What a great first night for this team as they've entered into 4A boys soccer. And they're saying 4A Metro League, you might want to take notice.
Here we come.
Jackson Neal sends it forward for the Rangers. Cut back. And what was interesting about the 2 goals they've scored in this half, Dave, is they haven't really possessed the ball for that long. But when they've gotten it into the offensive side of the field, they've pushed it and been able to get 2 goals.
Well, it shows you what kind of team they have. They can score in a number of ways. The first half, they controlled the tempo. They controlled the play. They had the ball the whole time. This half, Lewis Palmer's had the ball the whole time. They've been more of an opportunistic type of a team. When they've had a chance, they've buried them.
Trevor Nelson in the game now for TCA, the senior midfielder, getting some action out there. Titus Grant with a couple of goals. And it's going to be Ranger ball right here. Jackson Neal, nope. Mendez will take it. Miguel Mendez, the captain for the Rangers. Sends it ahead, but it goes through to Chastain. Chastain sends it back. Connor Davis was trying to play it, so Micah Messward sends it out of there just to be safe, and the Rangers will gain it at midfield. Nice job there by Brendan Hoagie. Shaken up a little bit, Brendan McKelvey for the Rangers. And here comes Baldus up the left sideline, keeps it in bounds. He's got Titus Grant to the left again. Baldus being pushed from behind, no call, sends it, nice save. Good job, what a great job there by Alex Hilton to first send it into the air and then make sure that he got possession of the ball.
Well, a nice chance right there by Baldus, and he has 2 assists, doesn't have a goal yet, tried to go right over the keeper's head, popped up, nice play by Alex Hilton. He was even held a little bit on the play, was Baldus, as he was trying to come down the near side, still created enough space to get off a good shot.
We have a whistle and some more substitutions coming in the game. And back into the game is Jake Slater for TCA's Titans. And a couple of changes for the Rangers as well. Brendan McKelvey and Anthony Liparulo coming out of the game. Back into the game, Jonathan Emick, as well as Joshua Kalish. Ball's at midfield. Team's playing for it here. Here comes Carlson to Borja. Borja across the field now to Peck. Borja falls down, loses it, and the Rangers are going to take advantage and get possession here. Kalish there, sending it ahead. And Baldus. A lot of midfield play here. 7-0. TCA in the lead, 25:40 left. Second half of this one. Baldus coming up the left side. He's going to kick it in this one. Going to barely reach it to Hilton. Hilton plays that one easily.
Well, nice play by Miguel Mendez, the senior captain for Lewis Palmer, who got right in that shooting lane, got a foot on it, took some of the steam off of that shot by Baldus, popped up into the air, and Hilton played it easily.
Lewis Palmer coach Brian Barkey told us, every year is a building year, as he feels, because the program had been down for a while, and last year they got to the playoffs for the first time in a few years. And he says this is a building year, but I think he felt they would be building some momentum maybe with this game, even just the way they played. But down 7-0, you really got to get something going now.
Well, you really do, and building off of what they did last season to finish up again. They only lost 4 games all last year. Lewis Palmer was 10-4-2 last season. Yellow card on the play is going to go against J.G. Morrison, the second for Lewis Palmer. Yellow card right there in the midfield, and TCA will take control of the ball. But you look back to that last season team for the Rangers, 10-4-2. They won 3 straight at the end of the season to get into the state tournament. They lost in the first round, so they were a little bit hungry after losing a little bit earlier than they thought they would, and that's what they would have been building off of. But to start out like this in their season opener, that's a rough way to go.
It certainly is. We will wait now. More substitutions. Noah Klaus comes back in for Borja for TCA. And again, Trevor Nelson still in there for the Titans. Seeing some good action, the senior.
Well, even leaving the field, Borja sprints off the field. Yeah. He's been all over the place tonight. He gets subbed for, and he went sprinting off to the bench. He's got some legs.
And here we go, TCA. Moving it well as things start to chill out a little bit here in the Colorado night air. Baldus, a nice turn with the ball there. Move ahead. Here come the Rangers. A nice spin. They'll keep the ball. That's taken right back away by Trevor Nelson. Nelson up the sidelines with it, but it goes out of bounds. Miguel Mendez into Matt Fanning. And back to Emick. And the Rangers trying to play the ball, trying to get it to Jackson Neal, but it's kicked away, and here come the Titans again. Again, Trevor Nelson. Nelson just a bit outside. Misses that one. The Rangers will take the ball.
Tried to line that one up from about 25 yards out and just didn't put that where he wanted to say the least. It went wide of the net, sent back into play by the Rangers.
And Alex Hilton will put it in play. Get a little bit of a breeze here. We've had nice clouds all night to keep the sun out of our eyes earlier, and making a nice little backdrop here over the mountains in Colorado Springs. First time that I've been here at this TCA field, Dave. I think quite the setting. I like the way they have it here with the bricks and the stands in front of us. It's very nice.
Well, it really is, with the school right behind the field, and again looking right into that backdrop of the Rocky Mountains. What a beautiful night it is.
The Classical Academy. They were 18-2 last year, and they're well on their way to being 1-0 this season.
Well, and you talk about successful programs and the run that they had over those 3 years at the 3A level, losing twice in the state championship game, 3 straight years to the state tournament, and they're on their way this season at the 4A level to maybe do what they've done at the 3A level. We'll see how far this team can progress.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
No, but
it's just one game.
But they're off to a great start.
They are. They've been very impressive tonight. Very impressive against a team from maybe a tougher 4A league. Lewis Palmer playing in the 4A Pikes Peak. TCA will start their first 4A in the Metro. Yeah, I'll keep saying that all night if I need to. TCA play some defense here. The Rangers. Nice movement here. But again, TCA, nice job by Kalish. Kalish, though, doesn't get the call, falls to the ground. Rangers keeping it. Ziegler. Now the Rangers keeping it in that offensive third. Titans feeling a little bit of pressure. Some of their backups in there on defense as well. There's Noah Klaus. Klaus loses it. They're going to give it to TCA. TCA keeping the pressure on right now. There's Tonsitz, won't go. Here come the Rangers back up the field. Connor Davis loses it. And Johnny Stevens will be the answer to the trivia question many years to come. Who scored the first 4A boys soccer goal for the TCA Titans? Johnny Stevens will be the answer. 1H, Johnny Stevens. Here come the Rangers. Mendez trying to just do something to get some offense going for this Ranger team. As we come down into the fourth quarter, as we like to say, the second half of the second half.
Well, and both teams getting a lot of new faces in and getting some young guys some experience. We talked to both of these coaches before the game, and they talked about the youth that they have on both ends, on the offensive end, on the defensive end. Well, they're getting some of those players some experience in the final 20 minutes of this one.
Nathan Thompson in the game for TCA. And now here come the Rangers. It's Cameron Waldron. Nope. Taken away. Excuse me, that was Matt Fanning for LP. Nice job there by Reese Tonsitz. Nice long kick there for Lewis Palmer. And here comes Tonsitz. Tonsitz down the left side. Got to keep possession. Nice job. Just going to dribble it a little bit. Now to Noah Klaus. Klaus gets jumped on, taken away by the Rangers. Now to Carlson. Carlson going to kick it from there. And a nice save by Alex Hilton. But how about the kick by Anders Carlson?
Boy, almost 30 yards out, and he just lets fly with one right over the top of the goaltender. It was right at him. If that is anywhere else, that might go in. But Hilton, again, gets his hands on it, pops it up over the top of the crossbar. Yet another save for the Rangers sophomore goalkeeper, Alex Hilton.
Alex Hilton. There's a nice one. They try to get Carlson again with a header. This time it comes out of there. And the Rangers are going to play it upfield. Matt Fanning knocks it down, keeps possession. He's got Kalish running with him. Kalish touches pass back to Fanning. Fanning tries to get it back to Kalish, but the quicker player, Trevor Nelson, gets there and just knocks it out of bounds. Rangers will keep it here, and the Titans will regroup on defense.
Well, and again, you see there on the attack, I mean, Lewis Palmer just not in sync, and they've been that way all night. When they've had a guy that's open, the pass is behind him or it's a little too far in front, where TCA, every pass they've had tonight, they've connected perfectly on every single one of them, and right there was a great example. Kalish coming down the right side, pass that was behind him, catches up in his feet, he can't control it, and went out of play.
Kalish looking for the throw-in now, and he gets it inside to Cameron Waldron. Waldron loses it, though. And it goes back over to Trevor Nelson and the TCA Titans. And it looks like Anders Carlson is coming out. And in is Michael Slattery for TCA. Hey, everybody getting to play tonight for the Titans. They were going to say that Jake Slater was out of bounds on that one when he headed it, and they give it back over to the Rangers.
And you look over at the bench for TCA and a lot of high fives. Those are all the guys that have scored tonight that are now out of the game. As you said, Brian, Carlson just went out. Borja is over on the bench. A lot of guys that have scored early in this game. They're getting an early breather in this one.
Certainly are. Tonsit's trying to regroup here. Here comes Trevor Nelson. Nathan Thompson, the sophomore, in there now for TCA as well. Tonsit's with a nice move, pushes it ahead. It's knocked away and back by Lewis Palmer. And they're going to get it to the Rangers on the trip.
Yeah, they're going to get Slater again on that one. Jake Slater with a trip right there in the midfield.
They did not let Mendez set it up. The official getting a little excited now, sending the Titans back a little bit. And the senior captain, Miguel Mendez, try to get something going here for the Rangers. Down 7-0, 16 and a half minutes left, second half. He sends it deep at the taller TCA team, knocks it out, and they're going to get possession with the push from a Ranger from behind.
Well, a lot of whistles over about the last 30 seconds. We didn't have many for a while, and saw a couple in the midfield. There was one down deep in the TCA end.
See the Borja family in the stands here tonight. They're probably liking what they're seeing, including their son's first 4A goal as a sophomore. Kicking it back up. Here comes Trevor Nelson, trying to come up the left-hand side. Kalish knocks it away, but quick back in there is Slater. Slater to Noah Klaus. They'll send it forward. Hilton comes out, and there's another easy goal. This one for Baldus, who finally gets on the board. We heard a lot about him coming into this game. Jeremy Baldus gets on the board. He's got 2 assists and now a goal tonight. 8-0.
And none will be easier than that one. He came in all alone on the goalie. Hilton came out. He dribbled it right past him and then even gave it a little touch at the end to make sure that it went in. Baldus with 2 assists tonight. He has a goal as well, an all-state player from last season, and he gives the Titans an 8-0 lead in this one.
Alex Hilton is about ready to go home, I think. 8-0. Baldus, and you know that's really, again, heads up, because they're so quick to realize that when this goaltender's coming out and he's down, if you can just get balled by him, that's all Baldus did was just kind of lift it around over his hand, and then he got it to go into the net.
Well, and they've scored. I mean, when you score 8 goals, you get a lot in a lot of different ways, but they've beaten the keeper when he's come out and dribbled it around him. They've beaten him with some long shots and lobbed him up high. They scored a rebound goal on Borja's goal early on in this game. They made a nice pass inside. They've scored just about every way possible in this one.
They certainly have. Kalish gets it to Mendez. Mendez with one man to beat, spins around, nice move. Kalish comes over to help out, but it's taken away by Chastain. And the speed of the defender, Chastain, he does such a great job.
Well, and then the poise to not just kick it out of play, but to turn and send it up to Trevor Nelson and transition the other way quickly. You see, a lot of young defenders would have just taken that ball and kicked it out of play and had a reset right there. He just touched it up to his teammate. Great poise there again by the Titans.
Andrew Peck to Tonsitz. Tonsitz comes up the left-hand side, gets a little bit of push from behind, goes down, no call, and now the ball's out of bounds, and we're waiting for the official, and he gives it to the Rangers.
No call on any of that.
No.
There were bodies all over the place on the ground. We had white jerseys, dark jerseys, all throwing their hands up in the air. No call, and the Rangers will throw it in.
Bodies all over the pitch. Peck gets it to Klaus. Klaus moving it over now to Johnny Stevens. Stevens, who had the first goal tonight, is running down the right-hand side. He's looking for it. They get it, trying to get it over to him. Johnny Stevens, this is where he scored from earlier. And it's kicked out of bounds by the Rangers. Good job there by Jonathan Emig.
Well, another chance again. That was Stevens coming down, but he didn't have a whole lot of space. He tried to control it, but not enough room to get a shot off.
This shot comes over. Tonsitz tries to head it in. That was a close one as well, and now Baldus sends it well over the top, and he's got his second field goal of the night.
Well, a nice chance there by Tonsitz on that header, and he got a good bit of that. It was a tough one. It was down low. He had to go down to play it. He sent it into the net, but came off the side of his head, and the rebound try went high over the top.
Hilton plays it back in for the Rangers. But the buzzsaw that is TCA cuts it off and sends it right back in. And Chastain's going to play it back to Messward. We've actually seen everything tonight. We even saw a great save by Micah Messward tonight.
We did.
But non-plural should tell you something about
right.
how the rest of the game has gone. Moved ahead. Here comes Noah Klaus. Klaus pushing it forward. He's got Slater running with him as well as Tonsitz. Tries to get it to Slater. Slater comes in the right-hand side, and it's cut off there by Daniel Munn. He kicks it out of bounds for the Rangers.
Well, and again, you see Noah Klaus taking that ball in the midfield through traffic, dribbles it through. Klaus has a goal and an assist in tonight's game and sent it up ahead and almost put it right on the foot of Slater.
Here comes Trevor Nelson. Sending it across, and there's an, oh! Hit the goalpost for football. Out of bounds as a great setup there by Trevor Nelson.
Well, a great pass inside and a shot that looked like it was headed to right under the crossbar. Instead, it hit a crossbar, but hit the football crossbar and was out of play. But another great chance by TCA.
And Alex Hilton will play this one in. Stolen away. Good job here by Slater. Slater puts it in. Hilton makes a save and then gets up and gets the ball. That was a nice try by Jake Slater, the freshman forward for TCA.
Well, a great chance there by Slater. He's being held up a little bit, gets it off the left foot, and a diving stop by Hilton. Hilton has made some terrific saves in this game, and it was one right there, diving over to his right, knocks it down, and has the presence of mind to get up and cover it.
Reese Tonsitz now coming in again, and there's Hilton. Tonsitz goes down. No call. And Hilton has the ball. Hilton probably just kicking it as long as he can and saying, guys, please, just can you stay down there for a little while? It was 5-0 TCA at the half, which is now 8-0, or a nil, as we like to say. And the Titans. Nelson and Tonsitz. Look at Tonsitz, just like toying, and now he'll take a shot. Hilton's right there. Tonsitz has taken some long shots tonight, the junior defenseman, and he's showing off a little bit of footwork out there. Just under 10 minutes now left. The Rangers getting some more changes. Connor Davis comes back in. Joshua Kalish goes out. And Daniel Ziegler also back into the game.
Nick Hazelwood back in as well for TCA.
And Brendan McKelvey will put it in play. And Noah Klaus comes back with it. Noah with a nice move, sending it forward to Slater. Slater trying to keep possession of it. Moves to the side, sends it. He's still got a shot, and a goal! Jake Slater, the freshman, gets the 9th goal for TCA tonight. And what a great job fending off all the defenders and then putting it home.
How about the footwork right there by Jake Slater? And look at this on the replay. 1, 2, 3 defenders in front of him. Then he gets it over to his right foot, gets a little bit of space as he punches it through all those bodies, turns on it, fires it just inside the far post. Jake Slater gets on the board tonight. The freshman forward gives TCA a 9-0 lead.
Wow. Just under 9 minutes now left, second half. Nick Hazelwood getting some good play here now. in for TCA. Would a goal really mean that much for the Rangers right now, or would it be really that upsetting for TCA for them to get one?
Well, right now, I mean, for Lewis Paul, they just have to keep playing. They just have to keep playing, keep pushing, trying to get better with every touch, with every play that they have. And, for TCA, they want to get the shutout for their senior goalie, Micah Messward. They're 8 minutes away from doing that. And,
Did you
defensively.
Just say the word we're not supposed to say?
I did. I went right there.
Okay.
I'm not superstitious that way. Yeah. But that's what they're thinking at this point in the game. They want to keep the ball on their offensive side.
Here come the Rangers because Dave Toller used the S word. And it's headed out of bounds. TCA ball. 7:50 left in the game. There's a nice move. Tell you what, the freshman Cameron Waldron, I like his fire out there. Look at him running. Just tough to keep up with some of these taller, longer-legged TCA players. Trevor Nelson now making his way through. Falls down, no call.
Fans wanted a call on that one.
Layup, kids. It's 9-0.
Yeah, they called that one.
Baldus goes down, and there's some good sportsmanship there between Mendez, the captain, and Baldus. Baldus. It's an interesting name. B-A-L-D-E-S. Baldus.
And we've called it a lot tonight. He's been all over the field.
That's what you would call the Air Force hockey radio crew. Baldus.
Baldus, I like it.
Yes, there you go.
I don't know
Look
what
at the
you mean.
speed coming in. Noah Klaus trying to get to the ball there on the outside. Good job of the Rangers kicking it out. 6:40 now left. And TCA will keep it in. Nice move, Baldus. Look at the movements over here. Just dribbling the ball. Just so good. Slattery now comes over to Nelson. Nelson going to send it goalward. Hilton. Well, I'd be a little edgy, too.
I would, too. He's seen a lot of them come his way tonight.
He certainly has. Did a good job playing that one. Oh, good job by TCA. And here comes Waldron. Let's see what he can keep possession of the ball. Dribbles it, keeps it right on the line. Sends it forward to McKelvey. Gets pushed from behind, no call. Chastain gets it, and they're going to keep it. Yep, he did call the foul. I guess the longer you lay there, the official feels bad for you.
Well, and again, every time it looks like they have a chance, there's white jerseys all over the place. There's one on the ball, there's one in the passing lane, and there's another guy back deep.
Let's see what Miguel Mendez decides to do here with the free kick. Sends it inside. There's Neal. Jackson Neal hasn't done much in the last half of this half, really. Had a lot going for him as they came out of halftime, but a couple 3 goals by TCA has kind of cooled them off.
Well, you wonder, too, Brian, the first 2 minutes of this first half when they came out, Jackson Neal was so active and they had some chances. If they would have gotten one to go in, maybe 2 of those to go in, could this be a different game at this point? But they didn't. TCA withstood that, and then they transitioned quickly, and they put 4 on the board in this second half.
Chastain, the speedier guy there, Chris Chastain for TCA. Gets it back to Garrett Troop, who sends it to Messward. Sends it Messward, you might say. Long kick for Messward goes out of bounds. Now well under 5 minutes before TCA can celebrate their first 4A win. Matt Fanning gets it to McKelvey. McKelvey sends it. But it's turned back by TCA. Klaus gets it over to Slattery. Michael Slattery running up the right-hand side. Klaus just pulls it out. Borjas back in the game. He turns, gets thrown down a little bit. And it'll be Titan ball. Now under 4 minutes left.
Borja gets up holding his back a little bit. He was out for quite a while. He had a long rest on the bench. He's back in, and he's over on the far side.
Chris Chastain now playing it over to Nelson. Nelson taking his time. Tries to lift it over Waldron, can't get by him. And now here comes Connor Davis and the Rangers. Davis pushing it up the right-hand side. Peels it back, and it's knocked away to Nelson. Nice job by Hazelwood and Slattery. And just TCA just doing exactly what Coach Blake Galvin told us before the game. Possession, possession, possession.
Yeah, I didn't think he didn't think they'd get 9 goals on the board, but he wanted to see this type of playing, especially in these final 10 minutes. You just see him reversing the ball, near side, far side, kicking it back, playing it back to the keeper, sending it over to the far side. Everybody's getting a touch on it. They send it to the D, and just doing a great job of controlling the ball and controlling this entire game.
What's that old saying? Possession is 9 goals in a game? Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It has been in this case.
Yeah. Here comes Nelson. He's running alongside Nick Hazelwood. Hazelwood now takes it to the middle. Here comes Nelson, and he's wiped out. They just love getting the action right in front of Adam Drake down there.
They do. He's like a magnet for it down there.
Hazelwood will throw it in. He's got Nelson. Nelson being bodied from behind by McKelvey, who sends it back into the center of the field. And this is Jackson Neal. Slattery gets a couple heads on it, moves it back, and here comes Klaus. As we come in close down to the 2 minutes left in this game. Comes Klaus pushing it ahead. TCA still moving it quite well. And here comes Cameron Waldron. Tried to kick it ahead, cut off by Nelson, now sent back. I'm not so sure both teams wouldn't just mind keeping it at midfield and just letting that clock tick down.
Absolutely. And as I look back to before the game, we were down talking to Blake Galvin, the coach of TCA, and one of the words he gave us was technical. He said, if you talk about our team and you say the word technical, you'd be accurate. They've been very technical tonight in everything that they've done.
Certainly have. Their technique has excelled. Borja with the ball. As we come down towards the final minutes of the first game at 4A level for TCA. Sending it ahead, good job by Miguel Mendez to cut that one off, and they come back the other way. TCA doing a good job of making Dave Toller's night easier after he used the S word about 7 minutes ago. Here comes Nelson. Comes to Johnny Stevens. Stevens going to take a shot over the top, just over the top of the goal. That's Hayden McPherson actually in goal. I think we've been calling him Alex Hilton for Lewis Palmer. McPherson watches that one sail a little bit high, and dare I say, Micah Messworth's going to get the shutout?
I think you can now. I think I did earlier, sure? But we have 10 seconds left in this one, and the ball's going to stay down in the end of the Rangers.
Hayden McPherson's going to kick it out of there. 2 seconds, 1 second. And there is the final buzzer. And the Classical Academy comes up with a classic in their first game at the 4A level as they defeat the Lewis Palmer Rangers by a final score of 9-0. When we come back after this, we'll wrap up this show for you and show you all the goals, or as many of them as our replay guy and our director decide they want to show us, which they just told me it would be less than 9, but we'll have those for you right after this here on 20 TV. Welcome back to TCA Field here on the grounds of the Classical Academy in Colorado Springs. And TCA's Titans come away with a 9-0 win in their first ever game in boys 4A soccer. The crowd enjoying it here tonight, and they give their team a a round of applause as they come over towards the TCA cheering section. A big win over Lewis Palmer. Dave, take us through who actually scored those 9 goals.
We had a bunch of them, Brian. Early on in the game, TCA controlled play from the very beginning, but about the first 20 minutes, they weren't able to score. Once they did, the floodgates opened. It was Johnny Stevens that got the first goal of the game in the 17th minute, and then after that, it was everybody chipping in. 5 goals in the first half. Those goals scored by Stevens, by Borja, by Peck, by Titus Grant, and also by Noah Klaus. Klaus had an assist in that first half as well. Early on in the second half, Lewis Palmer had some chances. They picked up their play. Their compete level was a whole lot higher, but once TCA took control, they did so. They transitioned it to offense, and then they started going. A great header goal by Anders Carlson was the first goal of the second half. Titus Grant got his second of the game. Jeremy Baldus had a goal and 2 assists. He scored goal number 8, and it was Jake Slater that scored goal number 9. Borja with a goal and 2 assists. Klaus with a goal and 1 assist. It was Titus Grant with 2 goals. Baldus with a goal and 2 assists. Peck and Stevens and Slater also scored tonight for the Titans.
Just a fantastic night for TCA tonight. And if you're a Titan fan or a family member, you might want to relive this one. And you got 9 goals to relive over and over and over. And the way you can do that is order a DVD copy. DVDs, $10. Blu-rays, $15. Just email 20tv@asd20.org or give us a call, 719-234-1780. Corey Morlock and the band will get a DVD out to you. Plenty to look at here with 5 goals in the first half, 4 in the second, and the first win in the first game of 4A play for the TCA Titans. And don't forget, you can reach out on social media as well. Facebook, D20TV, at D20TV on Twitter, YouTube /20TV Sports, and of course ASD20.org /20TV Sports. All of those places. We'll tell you when your next TV broadcast is, when our next internet broadcast is. This has been a great game, and congratulations to the TCA Titans. I'm Brian German. He's Dave Toller. It's been lots of fun. We'll see you next time here on 20 TV.